Okay, so this is my second try on this video. People are asking me often how I handle my carrots and my saddle snacks and stuff in the summertime especially. And so I'm just going to show you my quick setup, okay? So I keep my cutting board stashed over here next to my sink clean all the time and my knife clean. Here is my refrigerator in my tack room. And what I do is I usually buy the biggest bag of carrots I can buy, 5 pounds generally, unless I go to Sam's or Costco. These are from Food Line. I usually buy organic, but they didn't have any this day at this Food Line. So I keep them in my refrigerator, right? So they stay in here. I just yank them out while the horses are eating breakfast, and I'm waiting on them to eat breakfast. And I'll come out here and just chop some bite-sized pieces. Now the size of the pieces that I use depend on what I'm doing with them. So for saddle snacks, this is about the size I use, and I may give them one or I may give them more than one depending on how long it's been since I've given them a treat. If I only treat them a couple times during the ride, I'll give them a big handful. If I'm doing some close, new, and particular work, I might give them 1 or 2 at a time. If I'm doing something more like trailer loading, then I may go with some bigger pieces like this to give them more bang for their buck. If it's a horse that has difficulty really in the trailer loading, they feel like I'm asking a lot, then I may do this size. Also, this size is really good for sticking in a small hole hay net. So when they get on the trailer and self-loading, they can treat themselves essentially. So I click when they get into the bag, and then they grab the treats out of they grab the treats out of the net. Also, if I'm doing something with, like bowing, and if I'm treating them down low like I do in the very beginning, and I don't always do it this way, but sometimes I do, then I may use a whole carrot. Then I may use a whole carrot for this purpose, right? Because it's far away from my fingers, I don't have to reach as far, and it's just easy to handle, and it helps them have duration staying down low for the bow. So there's a couple different ways you can do this, but this is kind of how I manage it, right? So I keep a full bag of carrots in. I keep a chopped up bag of carrots, so it's not something I have to think about in the morning when I want to ride before it gets too hot. And once I'm done chopping, I'll go ahead and fill up my treat bag, which lives in the refrigerator overnight, ready to go in the morning. So I know about how many treats I go through a day, and I'll generally chop 2 or 3 days worth at a time. I'll keep this ready to go. I'll keep this as a backup, and I do all that while I'm waiting on them to eat, so it doesn't waste time. So anyway, this is how I manage my carrots. Refrigerator is key, obviously, in your tack room to do it this way, but there's a lot of other variations. Hope this has been helpful to you.